Yeah, hi all, good evening, So here we go. Here's the Sinclair C5. So a few people just asked me a few more questions about it. That's all. It's battery wise, I use this one here. So you can use car batteries, but they're not designed to be run flat yet. So I recommend an AGM battery such as this, 33 amps. Again, it depends how heavy you are and the condition of the Sinclair C5 and how many hills there are, etc, etc. But this one here is about 60 quid, and the plus brass contacts are about a tenner, versus lithium, which is half the weight. Obviously much better, more risky, of course, more risky. These materials, and I happily leave this inside under my stairs all year long, over winter, no issues whatsoever. But let's say they're about sort of £60 for one, £100 for two. You obviously need a charger. I recommend this one, the C-Tech MXS5, which has an AGM setting there. So I use this from all my cars, classic cars, normal cars. Connect this up for the AGM for the Sinclair batteries, or connect it up here to a socket on my normal cars. Top notch, best charger on the market. So just whip it in there, and obviously these batteries here, you know, for me, I get 2 to 3 years of great use out of it, and then it starts to drop off, and it's still fine, but it just drops off as it comes a spare. So I'm due to purchase a new battery soon, and then this one here will be basically given away with a Sinclair to somebody in the future, and then I'll then use my 2022 one as my backup one, and my 2024 one as my new one, and then connect it up correctly. Don't cock it up, you know, red to red, blue to blue is obvious. If you do it the wrong way around you'll blow the electronics. So yeah, don't do that. Connect it up, the lights come on the dashboard, lift up, and the light switch just here, there. There's no indicators, no horn, no more accessories. John sells really good mud flaps, which I do have a set of mud flaps for it. I haven't added anything additional on, but you can fit mud flaps very easily, very cheaply. Or Darren sells indicator kits as well, which are absolutely amazing. The indicators, I've got a pair here I got yesterday. They're absolutely amazing. Well done, Darren, they're top notch. And again, you can also get mirrors as well from Graham or Darren as well, which are absolutely amazing. The mirrors look so sweet, so sweet. And the Graham's ones are very, very cheap. So yeah, well done, Graham, on those. Let me disconnect that. Genuine dual battery model, January 85. Fully restored chassis underneath. Priced at 500. Very, very, very fair price considering how much a headlight is worth, how much a rear light, how much a boot's worth, how much a restored chassis is worth, how much a wheel cover's worth. You know, I've done it because you know, it's nice to give back to the community and do a fair deal for somebody, you know, as well. And also, of course, it is painted yellow. Of course, that detracts from it. It's not original. I mentioned before, yellow comes off with a knife, or you can probably use paint strip. I mean, you can normally use paint strip on a C5 body and it will not damage the body at all. So long as it reacts with the yellow, paint stripper could work nicely and you can scrape it off like that. But I paint stripped many C5s, 0 damage. And also, of course, it's also got 2 holes here, which again does effectively detract from the originality, of course. I like the look of it, but nonetheless there are 2 holes there, hence why the sort of lower price. Also, the motor as well runs, obviously, it drives. I need to try it on the weekend if it's still for sale and have a good run on it to check it actually is good and pulls and all that sort of stuff, but it's definitely slower than a good condition motor. If you watch the prior videos, you'll see that when I got the Sinclair, the motor was all in bits. So you had the end part of the motor literally attached to the control box as it should be. The rest of it was nowhere to be seen. I then looked around the barn and found underneath an old steam engine the parts of the motor as well as a mullered gearbox. Obviously all been exposed, I've been sat there since 1990s. So therefore I managed to get the bearings, etc. were of course tight. I managed to lubricate them and get them working, seem fine. But I would suggest the reason the motor might be a bit slower than normal is that the bearings probably have got some sort of, you know, corrosion inside, etc. So they do spin, but obviously not as mint as they should be. You know, flat spots, etc. The bearings, the front ones I don't think need replacing. The middle ones you could replace. They're £3 each. To do the back bearing, it's super easy. Just pulls off, pushes on, happy days. The front one, again, you'll see in the drawing, you have to pull off the plastic gear and the 2 metal bearings to get to the large bearing. So it requires a bit more skill, that's all. But it's also a £3 bearing as well. So that's something that you could do. I haven't done it because I haven't done a middle one before, and I didn't know if it was going to run or not. Now I've tried it, I can see that it's slower than normal. You know, it's, of course, it's a job, of course, I can look into, but then it's more money basically, more time, that's all. So the new owner can run it as it is, and if they want to then take the motor apart, do the bearings, send it to Sam, whatever you want to do, you've got money in the Sinclair easily to do that job, considering how cheap the bearings are. Dual battery model, January 85, original serial number on it, nothing's been tampered with. Brand new tyres on it, which are lovely. Brand new inner tubes, obviously, as well. Grey boot, original lock, good condition light with no damage, good condition front light with no damage. Very, very, very nice front wheel cap as well on it. Restored chassis, restored cranks, all works as it should do. You know, it's just a little bit slower than my Sinclair is. It's also, which is probably to do with the bearings on the motor being old, I would say. But yes, that's that. So yeah, if it's still on the weekend, I'll take it out for a run on Saturday or Sunday, give it a good blast, and that way I can get a real feel for it, set the brakes up, and then also confirm as well the motor is good, or if it needs, you know, additional work, you know, immediately. Cool, and there we are. Thank you. Thanks all. Cheers.